Hello everybody, my name is Barmani and today I'm going to be making 1 gallon of homemade banana wine. So if you're watching this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned throughout the video, and I'm going to show you this recipe that I got offline, making 1 gallon of homemade wine. Do it yourself. Okay, so for this 1 gallon of homemade banana wine recipe, we're going to go over some of the supply and the ingredients that you're going to need. And they are, of course, 2 pounds of ripe bananas, raisins, lemon juice, granulated sugar, distilled water. You're going to need a Pyrex cup to measure out ingredients, a thermometer. This is the laser thermometer. You're going to need to keep track of the temperatures when you're transferring the liquid from one container to another. You're going to need a large size spoon, a funnel. You're going to need an airlock and a 1 gallon carboy. The airlock is important in allowing the wine to ferment because the airlock, it will let carbon dioxide out, but it will not let oxygen in. You're going to need some wine yeast. This is a 1 gallon batch, so you're not going to need to use the whole packet of yeast. You're going to need some yeast nutrient. Yeast nutrient, it helps to keep the yeast strong and healthy throughout the fermentation process, and you're going to need some acid blend. Acid blend will give the wine more of a professional taste. Now let's get started in making 1 gallon of banana wine. Don't go nowhere. So on my little countertop, I have a bowl, and I'm going to cut up the bananas into nice circle pieces until I put them right on in my pot. But you want to, after you cut the bananas up, you want to make use of them quick, because if they're out and exposed to the air, they could start to go bad. So when you cut them up, go ahead and cover them up or transfer them or do whatever you need to do with them. Okay, so I'll be back after I cut up the bananas. Here's what I've done so far. This is what I have left to go. I went and grabbed some more bananas. And I didn't mention this, but make sure that everything is cleaned and sterilized. Make sure you clean and sterilize all of your equipment. Now in this pot here on the stove, I have 6 cups of distilled water, and I'm going to add 1 cup of lemon juice. I'm going to add 1 cup of lemon juice in this Pyrex cup. Oh, a little messy there, but we have 1 cup of lemon juice exact. Now here we have 1 cup of lemon juice. I'm going to add it to the 6 cups of distilled water. Now the bananas that I cut up so far, I'm going to just go ahead and put them into the pot, and I'm going to finish cutting up the rest of the bananas. And when I finish cutting up the rest of the bananas, I'm going to turn on the aisle. I'm going to add these bananas into the pot, and I'm going to, well, I'll get a spoon and get that out, but I'm going to, oh, it smells very banana-y in here. It smells so good. I'm going to finish cutting up the rest of the bananas, and I'm going to add the rest. I finished cutting up the bananas. Here are the remaining of the bananas that I'm going to add into the pot. I'm going to add the remaining of the bananas into the pot. Okay. Oh well. Take this little guy out here and add it on in. Okay, so at this time I'm going to be turning on the heat. And remember, this is 2 pounds of bananas, 6 cups of distilled water, and 1 cup of lemon juice. Okay, I'm going to turn on the aisle. This aisle needs a little boost. I gotta be careful. So we got it on now. I'm gonna put that on medium heat. Turn it on, let it cook for a while, then I'm gonna add the raisins. In this pot, I've added 6 cups of distilled water. Now I'm going to be adding 4 cups of granulated sugar. This is 2 cups of granulated sugar. We need 4 cups, so I'm going to be adding 2. And I'm going to go back and get 2 more cups. So this is 2 cups of granulated sugar. I already have 2 cups of granulated sugar in the pot of 6 cups of distilled water. I'm going to add 2 more cups of granulated sugar so I can have our desired 4 cups of granulated sugar. I'm going to turn on the fire. Got that fire on. I'll put it on 4. I don't have any desire to cook it really fast. And we're going to be stirring this slowly until the sugar dissolves. We're not trying to burn this at all, and you want the sugar to be completely dissolved. The sugar has completely dissolved. So I'm going to turn off the heat. Now I decided to check on the bananas. They've been cooking on medium heat for about 20 minutes now. I think I'm ready to add a cup of raisins. In this Pyrex cup, I have 1 cup of raisins, and I'm going to add this to the pot. Wow, look at this. I'm going to add the 1 cup of raisins. Oh my goodness, it smells so wonderful in here. Let this cook for some more. So the bananas have been cooking for almost about an hour now. I've turned the heat down from medium heat and I put it on low heat. I think I'm going to cook it for a little while longer before I turn the heat completely off and let it cool down before I decide to drain out all the liquid and the pulp. You want to make sure that nothing burns, and also you want to make sure that this doesn't overflow. I almost had it overflow when it was on medium heat. So those are some things that you want to be cognizant of when making this. And at this time, I'm going to continue to let it cook, and I'll be back. I'll take the temperature of this. It says it's 152.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is way too hot. It has to cool down before I can transfer it. Now let's check the temperature of the water and the sugar. It says that it is 108.2 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to let that cool down more. It would be more acceptable in the 90s. So I'm going to let that cool down before I deal with that. So let's check the temperature of this now. It's been sitting for some time. It says that it's 87.9 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's at room temperature. So we can begin to transfer this now. Let's check the water and the sugar. It says that it's 77.7 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's at room temperature as well. So this is ready to be transferred. I already have some of the liquid dripping through the cheesecloth and the funnel. Let me see. That's where we're at so far. So we're in the beginning stages. I just put it into a cup and poured it into the funnel and just let it drip. I'm going to pour another cup in. You can hear it dripping. Okay, so the cheesecloth is doing a really good job of catching all of the pulp from the banana, so much so that it's starting to get clogged. So I have to pull the cheesecloth back and forth, and it drips out much quicker. But I wish I can demonstrate with you guys, showing you how I can make it drip out much quicker, but I'm holding the camera, it's kind of difficult. But here's where we're at so far. I'm going to continue pouring the liquid in and filtering it. I'm going to be filtering it twice. This is how much liquid we were able to capture. I'll be filtering this twice. I have some cheesecloth prepared in the funnel on top of our 1 gallon glass carboy, and I want to give it a nice good filter before I add the sugar and water. Okay, so here we have the carboy almost half full. So what I'm going to do right now at this time is add our distilled water and sugar. Now I'm adding the water and the sugar. I'm going to add more water and sugar. I finished adding the water and the sugar. This is a safe space to keep. We have it right at the brim here before you get to the neck. This is a safe space to keep the wine. For the blueberry wine, I had it filled all the way up into the neck. That was kind of a mistake because I noticed that as the wine began to ferment, I had an overflow of blueberry liquid coming out of the airlock, so I had to remove some of the liquid. But this is a safe space. So now what we're going to do is add our yeast, acid blend, and yeast nutrient. Now, according to my wine research, I was instructed to add a teaspoon of acid blend and a teaspoon of yeast nutrient per gallon. So that's what I'm going to do. This is our acid blend. Now, acid blend, it gives wine a professional taste. This is a half a teaspoon. So I'm going to add another teaspoon so I can make it a full teaspoon. That's another half a teaspoon. Add it right in there. And yeast nutrient, what yeast nutrient does is it keeps the yeast strong and healthy throughout the fermentation process. So we have our acid blend, we have our yeast nutrient in, a teaspoon of each. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of distilled. We have a teaspoon of yeast nutrient and a teaspoon of acid blend in. Now we're going to add a teaspoon of wine yeast, and I'm going to prepare it in some distilled water. Over here I have a teaspoon of Red Star winemaker's yeast, and here I have some distilled water, and I'm going to add this teaspoon of winemaker's yeast into my distilled water. I'm going to take this fork and give it a nice whisk. You want it to be warm water, but you don't want it to be hot, because if the water is hot, then what that's going to do is kill the yeast. I'm going to continue to whisk this and I'm going to come back. So here I have the yeast all whisked up. And now I'm going to add it to the 1 gallon glass container. And it immediately changes the color. Now I'm going to add, now I'm going to put the airlock on top. Now I'll put the airlock on top of the wine. Now I'm going to pour some distilled water in. That's just about enough. Distilled water has been placed into the airlock. Now I'm going to let the wine work its magic and ferment. Now you can, some people do like to put liquor inside. You can put liquor, but I'm going to put distilled water. And I'm going to let the wine brew. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. In less than a week, I made 3 gallons of wine. Strawberry wine, blueberry wine, and banana wine. Stay tuned for more do-it-yourself content. And I'll be updating you all on the progress of the wine. Thanks for watching. If you want to know where you can find these products so you can make your own homemade batch of fruit wine, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below where you can click on and purchase these products. Thanks for watching.
If you like this homemade wine video, like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to share it. Follow me on Instagram for more do-it-yourself content. Stay tuned for the next video, and thanks for watching.